Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to iTrend on ITV. As promised, we have got a fabulous show packed for you, and when the names came up and were advertised, the responses we already received told us how long people have been waiting to see all these guests on our show. So without delay, we have got fabulous guests in studio with us. In these last 10 days of Ramadan, we hope you're having a truly blessed month, and we hope that you're remembering us in your du'as as well. With the build up to Eid, I know many of you are looking for ideas on what's trending, what to do, what to put onto your tables, not just for food, but for decor as well. And we have got the person who is fast becoming known as Johannesburg's style guru, the king of everything decadent, Muizz Darsot from Decadent Events. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me.
It's such a pleasure to have you on. I think everybody knows about you. We see your pictures everywhere. If we're not at your functions, we're watching it on social media. You have truly taken events to another level. How did you even get started in this?
You know, I come from a background of an interior decorator. And then, you know, having deal with clients and doing their homes, a lot of them ask you, can you do my golf days, corporate days, you know, the social event, the parties at home. And one thing led to another. I was doing engagements, which led to weddings and walimas, and here we are.
Absolutely. I know we have a lot of tables to get through. So while we're chatting about the deco tables, we'll then talk a little bit about your business as well. Muizz, tell us what you've got in store for us today here.
So this is a typical decadent breakfast, I would call it. You know, just straight out of Ramadan, you're having your breakfast. Some people are big on breakfast, some are big on lunch, some are big on dinner. So we thought, let's do the breakfast people, you know. And we've gone typically for an English look, and we've gone for something a little bit more formal with the blue porcelain. But this is all very trending at the moment, you know, it's all about this. And this ranges from English to Moroccan to, you know, to the Netherlands, to have the blue porcelain, the Delft, and even the Chinese.
And I love how light it looks. It's not too overwhelming,
very
especially
simple.
for breakfast.
Exactly. That's why we thought we'd go for a very fresh and clean look. Which is nice.
So what are the tricks here to just putting together such a beautiful table? Because it looks so much, but when you look at it, it's so simply put together.
Basically, you know, no base plate. Just, you know, this is something we might even have at home. So many of us, our mums have the blue porcelain plates at the dinner service, or we've inherited it from someone. And, you know, and this is a lovely vase. And all we've done here is just taken a simple orchid, placed it with water, very doable. And you got a lovely centerpiece. Your favorite flower, hydrangeas.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Always perfect for breakfast, as you know.
It just brightens up and changes the entire
Pretty
look
much,
of the
but
table.
it's such an elegant flower. It doesn't need anything, you know, just a hydrangea and a vase in there.
Absolutely. And tell us about, I love the flowers here. I'm a firm, I think flowers change every table setting and every event.
Even moods. I mean, flowers are all about the whole trend, and the flower. It sets the pace for, you know, for any function or dinner you're going to have. But typically what we've done here, we've gone for roses, lucianthus, very simple, very doable. It's just oasis in a bowl, a very beautiful blue porcelain bowl, and then you just pretty much stack them and place them as you want, and a couple of greenery here and then.
See, Muizz makes it sound really easy that we can do this at home, but I doubt ours would look as decadent as this. And then I love also that even though it's a breakfast, it has a very royal look to this.
But exactly, you know, and again, you know, again, cutlery we all have at home, something beautiful. I mean, that's a beautiful dinner set, you know, that we have. And I mean, it's literally scratching your mother-in-law's cupboard and pulling out things that she wouldn't normally use, and let's use it for Eid, you know. And again, not forgetting about the kids, you know.
I love that. Our kids are what Eid's about.
Pretty much, you know, so you have to include the kids, but still make it look pretty and elegant at the same time. And my minions have been hard at work. We've got some blue marshmallows for the kids.
I love this. And I love the fact that the kids have been catered for in your decor ideas, because that's the biggest part of what we eat.
Kids are very big in our family. I mean, in everyone's family, but we always try to incorporate them in everything that we do. It's all about the kids at the end of the day.
Absolutely. So I have to ask you this. Is this everything that you do? Because when I walk into a place, usually, you know, you've always got someone else doing the flowers, you've got someone else doing the food. And when our studios had called you, I mean, we didn't have to look for somebody to do flowers. It was a one-stop shop.
That's exactly what Decadent does. You know, we're a one-stop events company. So we do everything from your canapes to your main meal to your desserts, your flowers, your stage, your decor, everything. So when you're making a call to your event plan, it's one call. What's happening about my catering? Done. What's happening about my flowers? Sorted.
Amazing.
You know?
How difficult is it to do event planning? Because I must ask you, you're probably involved in people at the happiest of times, in the best of celebrations, whether it's weddings to baby showers, bridal showers, whatever it is, it's the best of moments. How stressful is that for you?
Very stressful. You know, the thing is, you're meeting with the family, or you're meeting with sometimes grooms about their walimas, take it very seriously. You'd be surprised, you know. But even brides, but alhamdulillah, we get along with all the families that we work from. But you have to take their visions and make it a reality. And you only have one chance to make this happen. You can't do it again again a month later.
Yes.
You know, no regrets.
Absolutely, it's that moment.
Pretty much, you know, and the most rewarding moment is when a bride or a groom or the mother or the father walks in and they either burst into tears, you know, or some of them are literally hopping down the aisle. This is exactly what I want. This is exactly what I want. You know?
Love it.
And making their vision a reality. That's what it's all about.
And that's what it is. It's about taking something. And what I love about these Eid ideas that you've given us, it's simple things that are so beautiful that we can take inspiration from anywhere around us.
Relatable things.
How do you even start with choosing, when you have to choose a table, and I know we've got quite a few tables to go through for all our viewers, how do we start with choosing the tablecloth?
Or would you start with base working up.
Okay.
Pretty much. You know, you've got to get your foundation, and once you get that going, you sort of add in the bits and pieces that you want to get your achieved look at the end of the day. You know, so because it's breakfast, we went for clean, very simple. You know how people are so moody after Ramadan.
You need to soften them up a little bit.
Exactly. You know, we'll get into the hectic bits during lunch and dinner.
I like that. And I think what's lovely about this idea that Muizz stated also is that go into your cupboards, go into your mum's cupboards, mother-in-law's, granny's cupboards. There's always these beautiful pieces of cutlery and crockery there that you can take out and use it and make it work for you.
Exactly.
Perfect. We're going to take a very short ad break. When we come back, we're continuing with our next set of tables. Stay tuned. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. As you can see, today's show is slightly different in format because we have had to change tables just to make sure that you get as many ideas as possible. And Muizz has been nothing but gracious in sharing these ideas with us. Muizz, we've gone from our breakfast tables to this decadent, beautiful setting of flowers and roses.
Thank you.
I'm completely in love with this tablecloth.
I know, it's velvet. It's perfect for winter colors. And we've gone for a typical lunch setting. We've got to arrange different types of setting here. So we've gone for something simple, which is a rose gold. Very trendy at the moment, but we've toned it down with a lovely net and just, you know, took away the bling factor. Again, just simple accents, nothing major. This is a very lovely, this is very trendy at the moment. They call it, the flower house or the greenhouse.
Yes.
Simple, succulent, we sprayed it gold, put it in with a bit of moss, and what a lovely centerpiece that does.
Fantastic.
You know, it doesn't have to be about the big arrangements and the little lanterns and little details.
And what I also love is with your serviettes, with your napkins that you've been put down, everything is just so elegant and simple. It's not overdone. It's clean lines. Yeah. It's exactly that.
That's exactly what we like. You know, sometimes you try so hard to be trendy and different that you actually miss the point.
Absolutely.
Keep it simple. Less is more.
Less is always more. I like that. And then I'm looking here at these Eid ideas, and I've got to actually show these because I think these are the cutest things.
Again, not forgetting the kids. I mean, it's all about money and Eid. You know, Eid, we've all harassed family members for Eid now.
I remember growing up, Eid was the best thing about it. You had to go around.
And we always attack the ones that would give us the most Eid first, and then you downgrade it as you moved along.
Absolutely.
So these cookies are very cute. The little envelopes, you know, for collecting Eid, but the cookies, and then obviously cake box for the kids, again for lunch.
It's fantastic.
Which is a nice idea.
And what a lovely Eid setting. A simple idea like this.
But you know, kids appreciate these little gifts.
That's it. It's something for them.
It's so simple, but for them, you know, they make them feel so special.
And I love the effort that's been put in on every table setting for all the children.
Yeah, thanks.
Perfect. Let's go through onto this side.
So here, typically, we've gone for something a little bit, more elegant in that sense. Again, a flower house. Very simple. We brought in the rose gold factor. We sprayed the leaves gold. Very simple flowers put in here, just lucies and roses. And at the same time, again, you know, a smaller version of the same thing. And these can just run across your table. But then if you want something a little bit more decadent, you would go for something like...
slightly more decadent.
You know, it's just basically roses of every shape and size. And to make it special and to bring in our theme, we've actually sprayed them rose gold.
That's what I love is when I'm looking at all of this, it all ties in again with the tablecloth.
But so simple.
Absolutely.
You know, and the tablecloth's beautiful. It's velvet, which is lovely, and it's gone for winter colors.
Yes.
You know, and if you've got a tablecloth like this, you really don't need too much on the table.
Because this already sets your tone.
Pretty much.
And I absolutely love these plates. I think this is absolutely elegant and again, very simply done. No placemat at the bottom or anything like this. That's all you need. And I love the ideas again of the napkins.
Well, tying it in again, you know, and again, it's Eid. Why not go all out? and
It's
do it the best
beautiful.
as you can do.
And there we go, yet again, our
Again for
kids
the-
have been catered for
Again.
and not left out again. What I also like about these ideas is that for the kids, everything that's put is not just put onto the table, it's put into containers that actually match the
That goes
decor.
in, exactly, you know, so even though it's a bit quirky and it's a bit childish, but it's still part
No,
of
I
the
love it.
centerpiece, you know.
Absolutely. So these tables are magnificent, but when it comes to events, how do you take what an individual wants and still tie it in with something that becomes trendy? Because every time I look at anything that you're doing, it's very individualistic and nothing is the same. Nothing is ever repeated.
That's exactly it. You know, so many times people come back to me on my Instagram page or an event that they've been to and like, can we do this? You know, and I'm like, why do something that we've done? Let's make it different. And many times I ask the family to give me a picture that represents what they want.
Yes.
Take the picture and make it happen. You know, take quirky and I like little quirky ideas that they might have, or little details, or little sayings that they want, and we sort of incorporate and make a bit of a personal touch. You know, very important.
When I see the feedback that comes onto your pages, I see how people absolutely love what you've given them.
Yeah.
And what I love about it is the fact that it's being made for them, just for
Exactly.
them. And you don't see the same thing over and over and over again all over the place.
But it's your event. That's what I tell people. It's your day. Tell us what you want and let's make it happen.
Fantastic, and that's exactly what you're doing. So these are perfect settings for lunch. I absolutely love it. I love the ideas that we've got from this, and I love the colors that we've got in it as well. So anything else to add for lunch tables?
I think this is pretty much, you know the thing is, some people are big on breakfast, some are big on lunch, some are big on dinner. In our family, we're big on breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I love it. It's a foodie family.
Literally, you know that a foodie, trendy family, it's all about the
Absolutely.
competition, you know? And going just for a simple breakfast, it's like, okay, what am I going to make? What am I going to take? What's the table going to look like? You know, and you always walk in, you're always amazed.
Fantastic.
You know, and everyone sort of tries to outdo each other. And it's not competition in a bad way.
No, it's lovely because you know what? You're giving the best of it.
Pretty much.
And Islam also tells us we need to put excellence in everything that we do.
And
So there
making
we go.
it special. You know,
There
you
we
make
go.
everyone make it special, even the kids.
Fantastic. We absolutely love it. We're going to be taking, again, a very short break. And when we come back, we give you one more table setting. Actually, two more table settings. So stay tuned. Assalamu alaikum. We're getting so caught up here in the studio that I almost forgot I was back on air. Welcome to this last segment with Muizz from Decadent Events. We are learning so much just about how to put simple tables together from, well, it's definitely not simple. It's rather OTT, but with elegance and class and a simplistic and minimalistic manner in most of them. We're coming back where we've had breakfast tables, we've had lunch tables, and now we come to what many families have for their dinner tables. And dinner is always something that gets a little bit more elaborate as we go through our meals. Muizz, tell us a little bit about this table. I love the golds now.
Exactly. So again, being winter, we went with the cream in gold. Very simple table setting. Again, these are glasses that we all have. I mean, we all have a good set of
Yes.
glasses at home. Here we've definitely gone for a bit of a base plate. Napkins with a bit of a bling detail. Bling is nice, but just used, you know, very simply. And again, a simple table setting. This is something you can actually do at home. Fruit bowl, we all have them.
Yes.
It's literally potted orchids, put into a bowl, weighted down with some stones,
And that's
and
it.
we have a centerpiece. And you know, the beauty about orchids is, if you look after them, they can stay up to 2 months.
But that's what I was going to say. What the nice thing about having this kind of an arrangement is you can use it in your home anyway for your decor.
Exactly. You know, my daughter loves orchids, so we literally have them everywhere.
They're magnificent.
She's gone from Catwoman to Orchid Lady now.
I love it. I love it. Well, she's definitely upgraded there. And then here when we come, I love also the idea that you've put the menu down onto the
Again,
plate.
this is something you can do at home. You can get the family involved, you know, cut out little round menu cards, and we like menus. So we put menus,
Yes.
and our courses go from 3 course to 8 courses at home. So we've done that. It's always nice to just add a little bit of quirkiness and a bit of detail.
It would be the greatest of fun to be a guest in your house during one of these meals, because usually we find that people who are involved in events and that seldom want to do stuff at their own house because they're so tired with it.
That's very true, but on Eid, we go all out.
I can see that.
On Eid, we go all out. It's twice a year.
We've got to see your Eid pictures this year on social media because
put it up.
you're clearly setting a very high standard for the rest of
Thank
us to
you.
follow. I love the idea of the menus, and I like the fact that you said, you know, it's something very much so your kids can get involved in
Pretty
and
much.
be
I mean,
a part
something you
of
can
it.
print at home, cut it round, stick it on. It's a simple
Wonderful.
menu piece.
And then we've got the little
We've
candle
gone for
holders.
crystal here
Yes.
simply because of dinner, and
Yes.
obviously it has a lovely reflective surface and candlelit dinners, especially
It's
for Eid
beautiful.
supper. But it's a very simple table setting.
And
you know?
the crystals, like we said, everybody's got something in their cupboards
It
from
is.
mums
I mean, we
and
have
grannies.
round ones, we have long ones, we have square ones, all different ones, and they actually all work together.
That's what I was going to ask you. So these are fine. We can literally put them. We passed the days of everything being uniform and looking the same.
No, mismatch.
Absolutely.
Pretty much.
And it still looks very elegant, very classy. I absolutely love it. And I love also how you've put in the kids yet again.
But this time we've got popcorn for the adults, you know, a nice conversation snack, and then we have these cupcakes. How cute are these?
Beautiful. I think the minions have been busy again, hey?
Pretty much.
It's fabulous.
You know, again, you know, kids love cupcakes, and you've got to incorporate the kids. And in our family, we don't set separate tables for the kids. We pretty much make them part of us, you know, so we incorporate them at the dinner table, at the breakfast table, wherever it is. So we always have a bit of something for them as well.
So this is something that trends very much in the family.
Pretty much.
Style and elegance.
From food to clothing to decor.
Absolutely. Muizz, this one here also, sorry, before we move on to the next table, is something so simple, just literally glamming it up, putting a piece of ribbon around it, making sure everything looks a little bit extra.
Pretty much.
I love it.
Thank you.
Eid is all about going extra. Tell us about this one.
So here we've gone a little bit more opulent, decadent in that sense. So again, it's roses, a simple oasis ball, cut them short and stack them.
Brilliant.
It literally is very, very doable. And we've gone for, again, the autumn colors and the winter colors. Candles, we brought in some black centerpieces and some gold ones as well. But again, a simple table setting. We've all got, you know, lovely cutlery and crockery at home, which we can use. But this time we've gone for something different. We've done burfi truffles for the adults as a little bit of a snack or a sweet in between. There we go.
And I love the idea of you also just saying, you know, these are things we have in our home. So the tip also is to invest in a good set of cutlery and crockery.
Yeah.
And make sure you've got good things at home.
You know, the thing is also, growing up with my mum, she wasn't one of those people that actually hid things away in her cupboard. You know, she always, it was always about us and the family. Sunday lunch or a Saturday dinner or whatever. She always took out the nice china and we used it.
Fantastic.
You know.
So has this always been something, as you mentioned, from your mum's time, the inspiration has always come from there to be creative and to put out things that are beautiful?
The catering part comes from my mum. She was a fantastic cook, and you know, even before she passed away, being old, she always asked people about recipes and trends and food and stuff like that. My dad, on the other hand, I'm going to move
this while we're chatting because I know we've got literally a minute left, so I want to show off your beautiful flower arrangement. Sorry, you were saying your dad on the other hand?
So my dad always liked nice things. So this again, if you want to go a little bit OTT for Eid, you could have a centerpiece done like that. Again, we all have a beautiful ornamental piece at home in our lounge. Stunning table setting, and all we've done here is lots of different types of flowers, and we've grouped them.
Beautiful.
You know, and we've done again the winter colors.
Muizz, I think you are such an inspiration. Coming here, watching what you do, and to also see that, you know, it's not just huge events, it's even the small events. It's the breakfasts, the lunches, the dinners that you make so special. And for me, what I love the most about it is that kids are a huge part of my life. And the fact that you've incorporated that in every single aspect also brings in the cultural aspect of who we are as people as well, which is fantastic.
Thank you.
I have no doubt you've given many of our viewers huge inspiration to make their table settings for Eid simply decadent.
Thank you.
It's been, you know, you can follow Muizz on social media. You will be astounded by his events. Not one event is the same as another. You only have to read the feedback to see how people love him, how he literally gifts them their dreams and turns them into reality. I know this definitely wasn't enough time to deal with Muizz. We promise we will get him back onto the show, or we'll go out and have a look at how he works in action one of the days. But for now, we hope that this gives you some inspiration for table decor for your Eid tables. Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to be discussing Eid meals with the wooden spoon. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Itrend on ITV. I'm your host, Zaheerah Bham Ismail. We've just completed our segments of decor with Muizz from Decadent Events, and every idea was absolutely phenomenal. And no doubt we all have much inspiration to work with. But then it comes to what do we put on these amazing tables, and who better than to have in studio with us the ladies who are currently trending all over social media, the wooden spoon, Sameera Wadee and Raeesah Wadee. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the studio.
Wa alaikum salam.
It's such a pleasure to have you ladies. Yeah, I know that we wanted to actually come into the studio, into your kitchens to film you, but we will definitely be planning that for a later stage. For now, we just wanted to ask you a little bit about who the wooden spoon is, because all of a sudden, these fabulous ladies came onto the scene and you've literally taken the cooking field by storm. How did Wooden Spoon start?
So, the wooden spoon is a culmination of generational cooking. So we've drawn inspiration from our mother, our grandmother, who have been huge influences in our lives.
And I think your mum is a phenomenal influence. I mean, we still see her very active in the cooking field, as is. So does she inspire a lot of what comes out that people get to see from you?
Oh, absolutely. Our mum has been, she's throughout the years an amazing cook, and we've learned so much from her, and we try to impart that knowledge to our students as well.
Why the idea of coming up with these culinary classes? Why the idea of wanting to share it with everyone?
Well, food for us is a celebration, and we love sharing in what we know. So be it methods of cooking, be it techniques, hacks, tricks in the kitchen, we just feel the need to share in that love for food with everyone.
And there's no doubt you do that, because I attended your one class, and I must say, firstly, all of us that walked out of there said it was one of the best classes we attended, because everything that you taught us were things we have in our home. It was things that we could use. It wasn't something that was, oh my goodness, I'm never going to do this ever again. That's first thing that I loved. The second thing I loved was the fact that you make people love cooking again. You make people want to be in the kitchen. You make people want to put things onto the table. And I think so many of us get stuck in this rut where we think, oh my goodness, it's just another chore. And then here we come, these fabulous wooden spoon ladies who are making it absolutely delightful to say, you know what, this is something that I'm going to give my family. It's a gift I'm giving. And that's what I absolutely loved about your classes.
Exactly. For us, food is a love language. So we try to show those that we love how you can just use ingredients that you have in your home, and how you can use that and transform it into something that's magnificent to share with your loved ones.
Absolutely. How did the name The Wooden Spoon come about?
So we have a lovely story about this, which Raeesah is going to tell you.
Okay, so the wooden spoon name invokes a sense of nostalgia for us. In the late 1980s, our granny, the paternal granny, she had a cafe in Johannesburg CBD.
Okay.
And her cafe was called The Wooden Spoon. So to pay homage to her, we actually named our partnership The Wooden Spoon.
That's absolutely phenomenal. And I love the fact that everything is steeped so much in history, and it's exactly like you said, it's generational cooking.
Yes, exactly that. We draw so much of inspiration from what we know as children. So growing up with it, it just became second nature to us.
Alhamdulillah. And then all of a sudden, we've been seeing also these meals that are not just meals that we're putting out. It's got that extra little flair. It's those tips and tricks and the hacks that we learn in your classes that you're so willing to share. How do you actually come up deciding that these are the classes you want to give to people? Because, I mean, I've seen gajar halwa being used in ways that I've never ever thought it would ever be used. How do you come up with ideas?
So there's an immense amount of preparation that goes to before we actually give the classes, conceptualizing and planning these ideas. So we think about, okay, what would be things which will be interested to today's modern cook. So we try to incorporate modern ideas using traditional ingredients and traditional meals, and just amplifying it a bit with a modern twist, using a bit of garnishing or just something that's, unique and different.
And that's it. And what also for me that stands out is the presentation, because everything looks exquisite. And when I see the detail that you've put into things, is this something that you do at home on a regular basis as well?
So not regularly, but we do try to make things look pretty. We enjoy doing it. So then it just becomes fun to do for us.
Absolutely. And I think everybody loves it. Everyone talks about it and everyone absolutely loves it. We're going to have to take a very quick ad break. When we come back, we're going to be discussing fabulous lunch, dinner meal ideas with the wooden spoon just for Eid. Stay tuned. Assalamu alaikum. The pre-Eid show is always something that we look so forward to, and yet there's never enough time when we have fabulous guests in the studio that are always wowing us. The wooden spoon ladies Sameera and Raeesah are here telling us about their journey and how they got to where they are at the moment. But now we've got to talk about what can our viewers put onto their tables for Eid. Everyone is always talking about Eid ideas, and who better to get from than from you?
Okay, so for us, Eid is traditional meals. So we think about the whiff of biryani or the a leg of roast, or so you can use your traditional Eid meals, and then you can add another dimension by bringing in some playful elements with your starters, with your desserts and your salads. So Raeesah is going to walk you through how we could actually have some lovely breakfast ideas.
Okay, so for breakfast Eid ideas, in our previous classes that we've done recently, we did an Eid entertaining class. So what we taught our participants in that class was how we can take a basic yogurt that we just amplify then. So we did 3 different versions of this yogurt parfait. So the first version, you could do a frozen yogurt parfait. Then you add elements of a berry compote and some a crumble for texture. Then secondly, we did a savory yogurt, which was very unconventional.
Yes, I was there.
So for that one, we used a savory granola, which is a nice change from the normal sweet granola that we used to. We paired that with freshly roasted vegetables, and we just made it a nice spice. Yeah. And then for the third one, we did a layered parfait. So we drew inspiration from the Caribbean. So we used lovely elements of Madeira cake. We used pineapple, coconut, mint. So we just had that multi-sensory explosion in your mouth then.
And what I love also is those are things that you can prepare beforehand, you can have it ready,
definitely.
and also your kids can be very involved in doing that.
Yes, definitely.
Because I think the biggest thing everyone worries about for breakfast is they don't want to be doing hectic things that morning.
Yes, this is like easy prep work. You can even buy your store-bought Madeira cake, which is absolutely fine.
See, that's why we love them.
That's our main thing in our classes. We teach you to be smart in the kitchen. We don't want you to be working.
Yeah, I like that.
So that's exactly what we aim to do.
And I think you've done that well. Tell us about lunch.
Okay, so as we said, you can stick to your traditional biryanis or your leg of roast, but you can also add extra playful elements. So being that it's now winter, some nice winter soups you could do. So a traditional French boa base, or for example, Portuguese arroz de marisco, which we did in our class. So a nice small portion of those soups as starters. You could do that as well, for which can lead up to your main meal. And then we were really excited about our dessert ideas. So we see that nowadays it's very much on trend to have these dessert smash boards.
Yes.
So we draw inspiration from places we visit and restaurants we frequent, and this seems to be a nice international trend where you take your dessert and it's very playful and interactive. You have different elements, different textures. You have your chocolate, your granola, you have your marshmallow for
I loved
the
that
ice
smash
cream.
board.
And you get the kids involved, and to make it even more multi-sensory experience, we also then played with hot ice. Now kids love hot ice, so we put in some chocolate essence inside there.
Yes.
So when that whiff of that board comes to you, the first thing you smell was the chocolate. You smell it, you see it, you play with it, and then you just put a whole lot of different spoons around the board, and you smash it up, and you all just get involved.
And I love the idea also of the hot ice and the essence in it, because that is such an easy way also for people to just do an upgrade on their desserts.
Yes, just play with fire and play with hot ice, just different elements to make things interactive and fun, especially for the kids.
Absolutely. And for dinners, what are we looking at for dinners?
Okay, so for Eid dinners, we can do...
We recently did a leg of lamb that we infused with flavors of rosemary and lemon, so lots of lemon zest and fresh lemon. So we did that, and we paired it with
baby carrots.
The baby carrots and the roasted potatoes. But in the roasted potatoes, we want that extra crunch. So we roasted it in the duck fat.
Which is actually halal and available here.
Yeah,
so
We didn't even know about that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, so with ingredients are readily available.
You can just walk into a store and you can get these ingredients. So you could actually
your
make
options are actually endless.
Absolutely. And with food ideas that are so simple, but literally we can just add a little bit of the extra, paired it with those decadent table settings that Muizz had. There's nothing short of a perfect Eid.
Yes.
Just add the family to the mix.
Excellent.
With the wooden spoon, what do we have to look forward to in the next few months?
We are so excited.
We are very excited.
Yes, we have so many new classes that's going to be starting from the end of June. Yes. So we are doing our refined modern Indian cuisine class, which, as you mentioned, you take gajar halwa to another dimension. You take it and you make it into a cheesecake, for example. Sure. And then we have one that we're quite excited for. It's called Yes Meal. I Can Cook in Lubies, which we're quite excited for as well. So that's for your novice cook, right?
Yeah, that's basically for your novice cook that's starting out and wants to learn the basics of cooking. But it's not basics. We are including different elements as well.
It's basics were up a notch.
Yes. So I'll teach you how you can take the basic marinade and how you can take that to another level of creating different meals.
Fantastic. Yeah. And then you've also got the Italian class coming up.
Yes. So we've playfully named it Mamma Mia. So we're going to teach you how to make authentic pasta from scratch, and we draw inspiration from both the north and south, and just some burrata, and so we're very excited
that have those pasta making machines that are locked at the back of our cupboards. It's time to bring it out because these ladies will teach us how to use it. Yes. But also, you've got these classes, you've started off. Did you expect the response to be as overwhelming as it was on the first time you'd started?
We actually didn't. We didn't expect this response at all. So alhamdulillah, we feel so blessed and lucky to have had this response. We are just so blessed to be sitting here with you today. And we also definitely believe that, as John Donne once said, no man is an island. So it's because of the help of all the people that in our lives, our spouses, our mum, our sisters, they've all helped us to be where we are today. And they're always there back on the call to run here for us or do that for us. So we're just so grateful.
That's the one thing also that stood out for me when I came to one of your classes, was that it's a family event. Yes. The sisters are there helping out where they need to. I saw your mum-in-law there, and I must say the interaction between you and her was just the most wonderful thing to watch. It was so lovely, and it's so nice to see that. It was so lovely, and that's really, I think, what I just loved seeing it. But I love that you've made something that is a family thing, cooking and you've turned that into something you're sharing as a family thing as well. So is everybody in the family a foodie?
I think definitely.
We're all big on food.
Our mum is Miriam, and she goes under the brand of Miriam's Masala.
I know, because we know her prawns very well.
Yes. So
I was going to say, I'm surprised that's not on the Eid dinner menu.
No, definitely prawns are always on the Eid dinner menu. Mum's prawns, definitely. Yeah, and our sisters as well. But I think they're the silent cooks. They make us do all the hard work, and then they just act like, oh no, we don't really know much, but they know quite a lot.
See, they're the smart ones because they know that no one will ask them to do it. So it's easier to pretend you don't know how to do it. What would you like to see from your brand and growing? Because I think it's so phenomenal to see Muslim women doing something, but taking it up to another level and to such a high standard. But where do you see yourself growing? Or where do you want to see your brand going from here?
So we hopefully have some big ideas. We'd like to not just, we've had lots of inquiries to go to Durban and Cape Town, and lots of people asking us, when are you coming that side? So inshallah, we hope that slowly to also then take our brand out of just Johannesburg and into other places as well. Yeah.
And I have to ask this, what is your background before getting into this? I think that's the one thing I wanted to ask at the beginning, and I've just realized I haven't even asked that. So what is your background?
Okay, so I'm a mom to 3 beautiful little girls.
Oh, mashallah.
I'm a lawyer by profession, and I'm just an avid food lover.
That's amazing. I'm going to come back to that now. And you, Sameera?
I've been in the education sector for over 10 years, and I currently work at a science center. So for me, it's so food and teaching will just go hand in hand. So
that's what I always find amazing, is how everyone's got their professions, and yet you find everyone still follows their passions more than anything else. And how do you find the time? How do you balance it with families, with kids, with community obligations, with your own work?
Well, like Sameera said, our support system is amazing. So without them, we really wouldn't be where we are.
And that's what it comes down to, is making sure we have fabulous support systems intact.
Absolutely.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining us on air. It's been such a pleasure chatting to you both. You are the most wonderful ladies who are so willing to share so much, not just of yourselves, but of things that you know and your wealth of information. And we're so grateful to have you in our community. And I can't wait to attend more classes and see what's in store.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much.
These ladies, you can follow them online. They're on the Wooden Spoon. And they're taking things, making sure that we find the love of being in our kitchens again, finding the love of putting food onto our tables and making sure that it's not just a chore, but it becomes a family event and something that we hope our grandchildren will look back and go, wow, my grandmother did this and she did that, the way they remember their grandmother and their mum, and pay homage to them as well. I think from fabulous decor to phenomenal food ideas, there's nothing short of making sure your Eid tables are fantastic. With that, we thank you so much for joining us on air today. Have a fabulous 10 days. Please do remember us in your special duas, and we look forward to seeing you next week, same time, same place. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
من زينة الإيد